If you're not making $10,000 a month, you should not be just slapping your brand name or logo on a shirt. All right, what you need to do is create design that explains or imagery that explains or gravitates people within your audience to your brand. All right, why? Because it's easier for people to connect with that hoodie that says everybody, couldn't see the vision. Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. All right, I'm Marlon Watts, co-owner and CEO of WRLDINVSN.
Hey, I'm Nicholas Clark, co-owner and designer of WRLDINVSN. And in this video, what we're going to do is we went back to one of our most popular videos, almost got 200,000 views. Hopefully, when you're watching this video, we got over 200,000 views on that video. All right, but it's do's and don'ts of starting a successful clothing brand, all right? And inside that video, we asked a series of questions. Well, we had somebody ask us a series of questions, and we gave our best answer based on where we were inside of our business and where we were within us growing ourselves as entrepreneurs. So what we want to do in this video is go back, all right? Go back those few years, and we want to bring those questions back, and me and Marlon going to have that conversation about those questions, and we're going to see how different our answers was, all right? So if you're getting your brand started or if you're looking to scale your brand, this video going to be for you. And if you are somebody who would ask these questions, this video is for you. So I'm going to go ahead and read the questions. And if any of these questions interest you, I need you to watch this video all the way to the end, or at least wait for you to get your question answered.
Talk to me. Right? Hey, for those of you who don't know, all right, inside the link below, we have an access link to join the AYV community. Go ahead on and click that link right now. All right, also, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, subscribe to the channel, run us up, baby, because we on our way to 1 million subscribers.
It's going to be a few questions in here, all right? So how to use social media to your advantage? What are the first items you should release and how many you should start with? How do you find people to buy your clothing brand? What should you focus on when you first get started? How do you surround yourself with the right people? Hey, how do people damage their success? Do you need motivation all the time? And if so, how do you motivate yourself? Or, if you don't need motivation all the time, when do you need motivation? How do you stay motivated? All right. Also, how do you find like-minded people to help you reach your success? All right. So just starting off with the first one, how to use social media to your advantage. Can I go ahead on and run with it?
You got it.
I got it. All right. So first and foremost, social media can be used for two of the biggest things out right now. Is going to be your current brand, which may be your clothing brand, and then yourself could be your personal brand. So you could use social media in both of those ways. At first when we was first getting started, we focused all the way in on the brand. And the brand grew more followers than, me and Marlon personal pages. And now we spending a bit, going into growing our personal brand. But in reality, like the way that you could use social media to your advantage is to be able to connect, your idea to potential buyers, or you connect yourself with other businesses that you could do business with, right? So a lot of our friends that, we have now, we might have met them straight doing the DM. Or, we met some of y'all that's watching this video straight from watching the YouTube video. Yep. So the way that you could use social media to your advantage is awareness. How do you get yourself out there and how do you get your brand out there? It's so many people that could support you without actually having to see you, without actually having to meet you. And what is that through? That's through social media. So I would say focus on how can you build brand awareness and how can you build personal brand awareness straight through social media.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, you hit it big on a lot of those points right there. What you got? What's the next question?
All right, so the next question gonna be, what are the first items you should release and how many you should start with?
Oh, I definitely could take this, because what you're not gonna do is you're gonna take your brand name, take your brand logo
and put it on the shirt.
And go slap that on the shirt. Dang, you stole the words out of my mouth. You knew I was gonna say that. Why? Because nobody knows your brand yet.
They gonna get tired of hearing that.
Hey, I gotta grill that in your head. I don't know how many people I start off with that, and I'm talking about starting off as like not making $10,000 a month. All right, if you're not making $10,000 a month, you should not be just slapping your brand name or logo on a shirt. All right, what you need to do is create design that explains or imagery that explains or gravitates people within your audience to your brand. All right. Why? Because it's easier for people to connect with that hoodie that says everybody, couldn't see the vision. Couldn't see my vision. And that hoodie is literally like going viral with just people just walking down the street with the back of the hoodie.
Of it, yeah.
And now people are able to already gravitate and understand what World and Vision is all about. We want to inspire people to trust in their vision. And when they're seeing that, they're easily able to support your brand, not only because a lot of times people don't want to wear a brand's logo. When you think about Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada, and you think about when people understand what that brand is, so they want to wear Louis Vuitton logo or they want to wear the name because of the status that's going to give them from wearing it. Mm-hmm. But right now, your brand don't have that same status. So just because somebody put your logo on, they're not going to receive that same type of intangible value by putting on your brand logo or name versus a Louis Vuitton or a Gucci. But if you could create a design or a quote that's able to personally touch or interact with that audience that you're selling to, it's going to be a no-brainer on why they're not able to spend that money to come and support you, because they're buying it based off of the actual meaning behind it. Then you just, saying, hey, this is my brand. This is what it's called, support.
And I said the one thing that you missed out on was they asked how many to start with. So I would say start with, as much money as you have, a lot of times people be like they can't afford to start a brand, but I remember when I wanted to buy my first computer, I saved $100 every check, and I saved up $1,200, and I bought me a computer, and that was how I was able to invest in myself. So if you gotta wait 6 months, to save up as much money as you can to get your first amount of items, I would do that. Or like what we were saying in one of our videos talking about pre-ordering, don't necessarily do a pre-order where you release it to the public, but do a pre-order within people that you know or your family and your friends. Call them up on the phone and say, hey, tell them your why, and then tell them I'd like for you to pre-order this next collection or drop that we're going to do, so they could at least fund you, and then you can keep them updated easily other than having to email strangers and they wondering where their product at. And I would also add on to
like how much you want?
Continuously saying what you were saying, like as in like making like a unique design that, create conversation and spark curiosity. Specific items that's hot right now in our world, streetwear world. If I had to start all the way over and we had the audience that we have right now, your audience may be different. You may have, women clothes, you may have baby clothes. For us specifically, we from anywhere from high school freshman all the way to college senior. And, in our world, in the streetwear world, I would say like, check out the items that we got on. I got on this oversized shirt. It look kind of washed away, but this, what people buying right now, even what Marlon got on, that zip-up hoodie where it got graphic print all around it. Like, there's hot items to start with, and that's how you could catch that early on traction if you have a similar audience to us. Yeah. All right? Now, it's going to be based on your audience. Let's get to the next one.
But and my bad, just to add to that, a lot of times it's just like how much do you want to make, too?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's how much you're going to get. You only could make what you get.
Yeah.
It's not like just pop out of thin air. For us, it's like merchandise is money. So if you don't have merch, you're not going to make money.
So if you want to make $1,000 and you charge $20 for your item, get 50 pieces.
There you go.
Easy money. All right. What should you focus on when you first start? Kind of like this last question, though.
Yeah, and yeah, and Nate. I'm going to give the 3 top things that I think that you should be focusing on. One is going to be developing a compelling brand story, why, mission, because people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And if, like going back to what we were saying, if you're able to gravitate people towards, what you do and build that community, you're going to be able to continue to make that sale. 2, make sure you have a database. If this point, they should be like, they're tired of us saying that too. Like, you need an email and a text mail list, because everybody that you come in contact with, you need to make sure you're putting them on your list so that way you can remarket back to those people at a more affordable rate. Mm-hmm. All right. And then last but not least, it's going to be distribution and sales. Like, you have to focus on distributing, from taking it from the backpack method to like literally making sales everywhere you go. Always having your brand on. Like, it's in your bag, it's in your trunk. And when you're talking about it and people say they want one, to even doing pop-up shops, to consistently doing bare minimum 1 pop-up shop a week. If you're not doing 1 pop-up shop a week, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to have that brand that you're looking to have. To taking that to doing it 2 to 3 times. To now actually having a store or going the kiosk method. To now being able to distribute that product out around the world via online, via other stores. So, like, you actually have to have a distribution strategy and plan to move product and make sales. And I think with all 3 of those things right there, that'll give you a great jump start. Way past where we was.
Yeah.
It took us a while.
I say something that's different from, just getting merchandise. It'll be reading books. Because I remember we read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and, that one book changed our life because it taught us, how to think differently, because a lot of times when we not able to get to the next level is because we facing a problem. And like it's based on us how well we solve that problem to get to the next level. You always gonna have problems.
What books
but
you got? Give me one or two right quick.
Rich Dad Poor Dad, obviously, if you haven't read that, you gotta read that once, twice, read it 5 times. I would say Star Wars Why. I mean, that was one of those.
I gotta do it today for y'all. Do it today.
That was one of those beginner books that we read. I read another one.
Business.
It was
Give me business. Give me some business. E-Myth Mastery.
Cause it's a lot of I like a lot of mindset books too. E-Myth Mastery, I would say, is probably one of your favorites. I like kind of like Outwin the Devil, that book. I like Power of Broke by Damon John. Like, it's more mindset books, but it just teach you how to like think, even when you starting with nothing. And that's how we got our brand started. We started with literally $120, like, and that's why I like a lot of those mindset books, because a lot of things that stop us is mindset barriers. Let's get to the next one though. How do I surround myself with the right people? I got an easy one. Go to events.
All right.
Like, literally go to business events. Like, if you go to business events, you're going to meet your next group of friends.
Yep.
Like, you really want to have a, group of friends that's focused strictly on business, data, nerdy stuff. Like, because that's how you're going to get to the next level. You can have your friends that you chill with and hang out with. To be honest with you, our business friends is starting to be the friends that we hang out with, even when it's just not about business, because we think on a business kick, even when we're not in business mode. Like, we think we go sit up in a restaurant and we like, damn, man, look how smooth they rolling through with their systems. Look how great their service is. Man, this business got to be killing it. We got to do something like this.
Yep.
Even if we don't do it, we always thinking, about how we could do more business together. The right people to surround yourself with, just mostly events. And not just going, but like knowing what you good at doing too, so you can let other people like know your value. Because if you just go and connect with people, it's like eventually they're going to be like, what could you do for me? So already be thinking about what you could do for them before you start thinking about what they could do for you. Because it ain't going to be a solid relationship. They probably not even going to take you serious. And it'll probably never go from there. So you'll be in a room with the right people, but you wouldn't be able to actually work with those people if you don't have something that you can offer yourself.
And I give two scenarios via like online and in person. Like, online is a multitude of different, communities, different chats that you can literally join. Even from it's a lot of times where I see people doing different things and we follow and connect, and you just end up commenting on this stuff, and then you just end up forming a relationship. So like, you could, like, if you're in an area where you're in a small city like a Ruston, Louisiana, where we in, you could connect with people out in Dallas, Atlanta, New Orleans, all these different places. And and you could go and join a new network of people, like literally via online. And then in person, what I would say is something that like we do, or something that you could try, is like start going to those same spots that those people in that audience may hang. It may be like the cigar lounge for us. So it's like you may get a membership in the cigar lounge because that other business owners gonna hang out in that area, and now you may make that like a weekly routine. Where you may even be going there to just do work. Like, you may be going there not just to hang, but go do work. But as you out there, getting cigars and doing your work, you're going to also be networking with other people that's maybe just doing that same thing. And it'd be crazy. You'll be sitting there doing some work, and, you got a judge over there smoking a cigar. You interacting with those different people. And that's how you start putting yourself in a different network. Because a lot of times you may meet somebody and they may not even be the person that you need, but they may know the person that you need. And just because you got that relationship with them, now they're able to connect you with another relationship. So that'll be the things that I would say.
2 more questions. All right, so let's just say I made my first $1,000, then I made my first $2,500, and then the next month after that I make $0. What advice do you have for somebody that's seeing success? And how can they not damage their success and continuously scale their brand and not go from that $2,500 to that $0?
Keep doing what works. Like, a lot of times our brand grows and we see success, but we invest in something else, or we change something else. Like, we stop doing what actually works. For example, if we was doing pop-up shops once a week, we talked about that earlier in this video, and that was generating $2,500 every month. And then you just wake up one day because you watch this podcast and we like, you need to start making content.
And then you stop making content.
And then you start making content, but you stop doing pop-up shops.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why, like, dang, why my sales went down? I watched the podcast. They told me to start doing content.
You got to build on top of it.
Correct. what we teaching you in these videos, like, we not saying stop at one thing to go do another. We want you to continue to build on all these skills that we talk about and do all of these things at one time. So you shouldn't look at it where it's like an either or type of situation where you got to compromise what's working to go try some stuff because you think that may work better. So that would be like my biggest advice. Like, don't be quick to like change. Another thing, you have that design that just made you this $2,500 right here, and then you automatically assume that you need a new design to go out to make another $2,500. When in reality, like we said, continue to do it work. Figure out how you can get that same design out to more people, or vice versa. Just get a new color of that same design, and now you still promoting, you know, your brand the same way. And getting people to understand what that brand is, because we talk about it a lot right now. Denim tears. What everybody know it for?
Those little reefs.
Them little circle
little flowers,
cloud looking things.
Reefs.
Right? Reefs.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I honestly, they probably had more designs that they dropped, but I probably never really recognized no other product that they ever had.
That. Yep.
Because they so flooded with those reefs everywhere, and everybody's still seeing these reefs. I don't even know what other designs they got out. That's a real, for some people on these watching this video are gonna be like, dang, me neither. And then that's the reason what we saying right now. They're not stopping what's working, they're tripling down.
Yeah.
And so that's what we need you to do.
Hey, last but not least, how do you stay motivated all the time? They gotta read that book, Start With Why, huh?
Yeah, it's two things. Like, what motivates me personally is like improvement. Like, so like just continuing for us to see that we actually growing, like, motivates me more, because it's like, dang, all right, if, you know, we get on schedule here, we meet here, we get a course, and stuff start, you know, happening. We, you know, like, literally one thing that we implemented inside WRLDINVSN was that 15-minute at 7:45 huddle. And like, the minute we implemented that, you know, revenue went up 10-20%. But it was like literally like, you know, doing something, focusing on it and seeing the results motivate, you know, us to show up to the meeting, motivate us to like figure out what else we could start like meeting about and putting into place. So I think for me, it's like motivation is like continuing to improve and see myself improve, because like y'all know we winners and we want to be on that winning team.
I let Marlon take all like the last 3 questions. He was hitting it right on the nail. Anything else before they go?
Nah, make sure
or before we go.
We need them to go ahead on that and drop some questions down.
Drop some questions down in the chat. Let us know what y'all want here. All right, and let us know if these videos is hitting every single week. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. Hey, I'm Nicholas Clark Corn and designer WRLDINVSN.
I'm Marlon Corner and CEO of WRLDINVSN.
Hey, we out.